guys, welcome to Vermont Sun and Shade. We're going to start with a cup of coffee. I think. Here we go. I hope you're all doing well today. While we're waiting for the coffee, we are going to, I've got a few really interesting tidbits for you today on the pet finches. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, Tuesday. And here's the coffee. Does it sound wonderful? If you are new to the channel, we talk about different Vermont things, in Vermont and out of Vermont, different news items, and we also talk a lot about Umi and Mashuki, my pet finches. So I'm gonna have a cup of coffee with you, and we're gonna say hello to Umi and Mashuki for a few minutes. And I've got a couple of interesting articles to share about them, but we'll start off just saying hello to them, and I'll show you the different plants that I have around them and how often I put those plants around them. That's a good coffee. Okay, that's perfect. I don't even need to do anything to it. So, okay guys, let's go over here, and I'm gonna put you like this. See if you can see. We'll try to get a little closer to Umi and Mashuki. And their music is on right now. We don't want to disturb them too much. Now, okay, the petunias over here, not something that they're really interested in. And let me just check. The petunias are, I believe, let me double check. They're not close enough for them to eat. I want to see. Pretty sure that they can. Yes, they can. They can eat the petunias, but they haven't reached out to really want the petunias. So they're there more for visual, and so are these. I'm going to turn the camera so you can see the other visual that is here for them, are these petunias up here. Okay, you can see the visual, and the visual is it's really important to your finches, guys, because they see in ultraviolet light. So everything that they see is much brighter than what you and I see. And if the sun is down or the lights are dim, they will see in black and white. When it's sunny and they have light, they're ultraviolet, they see everything. They see me in energy right now. That's why I like to put the necklaces on, and because they're so pretty in the sun, and they see this like 100 times more in color than you and I see it, and they love it. So I have here around their cage, this is rosemary. Okay, and they love that. They will pull it in, and so you don't have to worry. Hi, honey. Hi, Umi. She's sitting eating. So they don't have to worry. If you're worried that you put like a little bit in there and they're not getting it, this way they can just pull it in when they want it, and they do love rosemary. This right here is parsley. And because they have parsley in there, they're not too crazy about that right now. And this is peppermint over here. And they love, love, love peppermint. So you can see they pulled that in a little bit. So, so again, for those of you who are not familiar, this is Umi and Mashuki. So I'm gonna put the camera so you can see them while we talk. And a couple things I want to share with you today. We're gonna go over some new dog laws here in Vermont. Excuse me. And then after that, we're gonna talk about the birds again, because I have some interesting information. And before we even get started, I don't, some of you may know I'm a Vermont artist or Vermont author. And this is a notebook that I designed. As some of you know, I wrote the book Reviving Earth with Historical Cultural Arts, which is mostly about recycling and why it's important. And I have poetry in there, my art in there, and we talk about historical cultural arts and the significance of it. I'm not trying to sell the book. I am selling it, but I'm just saying right now on this platform, I'm just informing you that this is my latest artist notebook. This is an artist notebook. And I just want to share quickly the story with you. After years of having piles of paper, scribbling down where my art is, because when you do an initial contract with a venue, it changes. You change your art, you take it in, you put it out, it sells, it doesn't sell. And so it's always scribbling a note. So I put together a format here for you. It's like over 70 pages, about 75 pages of the same format where you can put the date, the consignment store that you have your artwork in, the location, your contact info, and how much you're getting. And then at the end, just artist notes and ideas. So just to let you know, I'm just letting you know because I'm so happy with this notebook. It came yesterday in the mail, and it was one thing for me to approve the quality checking that KDP did, but then it was another thing to see it and hold it and actually be able to use it. So check out, if you're an artist, over on Echo Art with Carmella. Later, I'm going to show you how I'm filling mine out. Okay, so now, guys, the dog laws that have gone in effect. I don't know. Let me turn this down a tiny bit. Hold on, guys. You can hear Umi and Mashuki singing, and I'll turn it back up when we're done. But first of all, I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. And this is a very, very recent law. And for those of you not familiar, I'm going to tell you, when I had my pet, Sophia, my dog, it's well over 3 years ago now, there would be little, maybe you're walking in Vermont. Okay, let me just preface it this way. In Vermont, Vermonters, it goes way back, since they came to this country, because they came to this country, just, I'm just saying the colonists came to this country just a little over 200 years ago. It's not like they were here for thousands of years like the natives. I'm just putting that out there. And so when they came to this country, came to Vermont specifically, it was no big deal. You could walk through everybody's land and yard. You could ski through their yards. You could ski up the mountains, down the mountains. If the farmer owned pasture and then he owned a little hill over on the side and you were skiing on it, it was totally fine. So things changed over time, obviously, and people started putting up signs, no trespassing, this and that. Now, I know with my little dog, it got to the point where I was walking and I could see, somebody had a sign up and it said, hey, private property, no, no trespassing, and it's on a little yard or whatever. So fine, you stay away from that person, you stay away from their yard. It's all good. However, what people started to do, and I don't know, we're going to go into this article, but I think this is something to do with it. If someone left the waste of their dog on a person's property, I know they do this, or we're doing it a lot in Williston. They were taking the DNA of the waste and then going after the person. That's what they were doing. Guys, on a scale 1 to 10, for me in my life, you know, if you put a sign up, say, please pick up after your dog, people will do it. Most people will do it. You get 1 or 2 people who won't. But people, or you could put a fence up if you feel to that degree. Okay, so this says, so there's a Vermont AI summary here on it. So let me read it to you. Vermont does not currently have a state law requiring dogs to undergo DNA testing. However, Vermont has passed sweeping new genetic privacy laws, such as the House Bill 639. And this is just recent, guys, that impact how companies handle your dog's DNA results. So, protection from insurance discrimination. Companies are strictly prohibited from sharing your animals or your personal genetic data with insurance companies or employers. I wonder if that means neighbors too. You know what I mean? I personally do believe people should pick up after their dog, absolutely. But this is a whole nother area here. No unauthorized sharing. Companies cannot share your genetic data with government entities without a search warrant or an express consent. Now, why would they need a search warrant? Well, if a dog is dangerous and has bitten somebody, that's a whole nother level, guys. We're not talking about the dog going potty and somebody's lawn. I went by someone's lawn the other day here in Vermont, okay? I'm not going to say where exactly, but it was on the video. It was over on my art channel. I counted 12 signs about 12 by 9 inches. 12 on a tiny little yard, says no trespassing, and and then signs next to it about dog poo. I could not believe it. I'm like, put a fence up already. Hi, Sissy Ann. People go by. It's okay. Thank you for being here. So we're going through this Vermont dog law. So now the next thing is the right to delete. You have the legal right to demand the company delete your dog's DNA data and destroy their biological sample. So again, I know in certain towns, the landlords especially the landlords were exercising this, going after a dog's DNA, and then either fining the renter if they found the dog. Okay, what is the problem with that? And I know it's not a great topic talking about a dog's waste, but guys, people are squirrely nowadays. They're squirrely, and especially when it comes to their dogs, their pets. You could have a name, especially, and when you're in an apartment building with a lot of people, can I just tell you, some people just don't like you. They're not in a good place in their life. There's other people who might be troublemaker. I'm in a good apartment. People are quiet, but guys, that's not always the deal. Sometimes people want to start trouble. And so if they do want to start trouble, they could go after someone else's dog waste, put it in a place it's not supposed to be, and get that tenant in trouble. Is that too far-fetched? No. No, it is not too far-fetched. So now this says companies must obtain your explicit consent to use your or your pet's genetic data for research or marketing. So they're saying research and marketing. I'm saying they're using it in Vermont, I know for a fact, to privately go after somebody's dog. Because your dog walked on their lawn. That's been the number one. That's been the number one issue. If a dog bites another person, that now falls into a legal issue. If you're confusing DNA laws with animal welfare, the Vermont legislature has updated other pet regulations under H.578, which expands animal cruelty laws. We're going to go over that one right now because that is another one they just updated. So let's look at this. I was trying to get it in the newspaper, an article on it. This is 6 days ago. What laws take effect on July 1st in Vermont? And one of them is on animal cruelty. Let's take a look at that, guys. Okay. Hopefully they have the article here. This is by, so what I just went over with you is AI. It's an AI review. And this one is My NBC 5, and the news channel, My NBC 5. What news laws are taking effect July 1st in Vermont? So they have a list, but of this list, I am hoping they have the one on dogs. Protecting against animal cruelty. A new law will expand the definitions of animal cruelty in Vermont and will also grant immunity to humane officers, animal rescue shelters, and other rescue organizations for actions taken in good faith. Personally, guys, I thought that was already in effect, but they're expanding the definition. So the law further expands the sanctions that the courts can impose on convicted offenders. And that's all it says. So let's see if I can find anything else here. Let's see if Vermont Digger has the animal cruelty law. They do. I thought that they would. Legislate, this is Vermont Digger. And this is, oh no, this is not the same one. Nope, that's not the latest one. So I cannot find the latest one on this. Let me go back. Let's look at AI on it. Oh, I'll just look at AI. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Because it's called an animal cruelty law, Vermont. Oh, here we go. And we're going to say update. We'll try to find out what they're expanding this on. Sorry, guys. Okay, as of July 1st, 2026, the new animal cruelty law, it's called H. .758. This gives us a little more information. It requires offenders to pay daily care cost for the seized animals, strengthens prison sentences up to 10 years, and establishes bans on owning animals for at least 5 years. It also protects shelters from lawsuits when acting in good faith. Because sometimes the protector will go in and maybe misunderstand the situation, maybe make assumptions, and or something like that. And then the person, can turn around and sue them. So the new legislation updates animal cruelty laws across several areas. Stricter penalties, so aggravated cruelty convictions now carry up to 5 years in prison. Subsequent convictions can result in up to 10 years. Mandatory care payments, so they have to pay. They have to pay, the daily fee is $1 for the pets, at $2.50 a day for livestock, plus emergency veterinary fees. Can I just tell you, they need to find a way to bring down the veterinary fees, because people need to be able to, in my opinion, just be able to go easier, make it easier for people to get their pets to a vet. That's my opinion. I mean, their fees are astronomical. I was charged $50, 50, 50, to get my dog's nails trimmed by a vet. It took them 15 minutes. So the $1 a day and $2.50 a day doesn't sound like a lot. But if a person is doing time and they're in prison, that is a lot. They have to figure out a way to make that money. They have to get the opportunity to be able to make it. And many, many, many of them don't. And if they do, they try to get that money. They use it first to get some food. And the food is not even, it's from a vending machine, but it's different from the prison food. It's very difficult for them, the person's in prison. So that's a whole nother can of worms, and hopefully that scenario changes a lot. I'd like to see it change a lot. I'd like to see people, I'm not talking about a person who is psychotically dangerous, guys. I'm talking about people who make mistakes through their life, and they're in these prison cells for 5 to 10 years or whatever it is. Maybe it's somebody who's doing animal cruelty, maybe educate them and put them in to work in an area where they're supervised constantly and they're taking care of animals. They're actually figuring out what good care is. Something like that. I don't know. Possession bans. Those convicted are banned from owning or possessing animals for at least 5 years, though a path exists to legally request this privilege back. Again, before they get the privilege back, maybe take the time when they are in the prison cell to teach them what love and care is, to teach them how to feed and groom and care for their pet. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you. That would be time well spent. Some people just don't know, guys. They just don't know. Civil forfeiture. The law speeds up legal proceedings so neglected animals do not languish in the shelters during long court battles. Because being in a shelter for the animal in itself is, it's unmerciful. It's terrible. The animal knows they're alone. Anyway, shelter immunity, humane officers and rescue groups are granted immunity from lawsuits if they act in good faith under the new forfeiture rules. Okay, so those are the new laws, recent laws that are in effect. So to recap, number one, the privacy, they have amped up the privacy laws of the sharing of your dog's DNA, whether it be medical research. And I would think landlords and neighbors can't just swoop up the waste of your dog and, put that out there to a private company. So there's laws now to protect you. I would say you and your dog. If a dog bites a person, that is another story. I believe that's totally different and under legal. I would think they could get that mandatory. Okay, so now let's go to the pet finches, guys. So here's Umi and Mashuki, as you know. Hi, honeys. Hi, sweethearts. Can I just tell you, these guys love corn. They love corn on the cob. So finches, psychologists and scientists, they study pet finches, guys, especially the zebra finch, but they also study the Bengalese finch. Now, we're going to look that up in a minute because these guys are called the Bengalese finches. I'm going to try to get this off here. This is not disappearing, and I don't know if it's blocking.